Cinderella's Enchanted Evening. Once upon a time, in a grand castle, there lived a beautiful young girl named Cinderella in a small room. She had lost her parents at a young age and was forced to live with her cruel stepmother and her two selfish daughters. Her days were spent cleaning the castle, cooking meals, and tidying up the rooms. Yet, Cinderella's heart was full of love. Even while missing her parents, she tried to remain hopeful with her sparkling eyes and dreams. One morning, her stepmother approached her with her usual harsh tone. "This evening, I'm hosting an important banquet at the castle. You will prepare all the food, decorate the tables, and make the castle sparkle. But remember, you are forbidden to attend the event. You are nothing but a servant." Although Cinderella felt a pang of sadness in her heart, she lowered her head and set to work. She spent the entire day cooking in the kitchen, cleaning the castle, and adorning the tables as beautifully as possible. By evening, she was exhausted, but her heart still beat as if she were in the magical world of fairy tales. The guests began to arrive at the castle. Among them was a special visitor, a young and handsome prince. As the prince conversed with the stepmother and her two daughters, his eyes wandered to the door leading to the kitchen. There, he noticed Cinderella. She was moving about, serving food to the guests. Her beauty and grace captured his attention. The prince immediately stepped forward and approached Cinderella. Surprised, he asked, "You live in this castle, but why aren't you part of the banquet?" Cinderella answered shyly, "I only serve here. I'm not allowed to attend the events." The prince was not deterred by her response. He saw the kindness and beauty within her. Extending his hand, he said, "Would you dance with me tonight? A princess who has worked so hard deserves this." Cinderella hesitated for a moment. Her stepmother might be furious, perhaps even punish her. But the prince's kind and sincere gaze gave her courage. She placed her hand in his, and together they stepped into the grand hall. The castle guests watched their dance in awe. In that moment, Cinderella felt like a fairy tale princess. Her stepmother and stepsisters were frozen in shock. The prince couldn't take his eyes off Cinderella for the rest of the evening. As the night came to an end and the guests departed, the prince approached Cinderella. "You are truly one of a kind. May I see you again?" he asked. Cinderella smiled gently and replied, "Yes, of course." The prince loved not just her beauty but the goodness of her heart. A while later, he proposed to her in front of everyone. Cinderella accepted, and they began to live a life straight out of a fairy tale. No one could ever call her the stepmother's servant again. For Cinderella had become the queen of both the castle and the prince's heart, and they lived happily ever after.